Let's solve this integral. Okay, so here we can change this 1 minus sine theta, that is denominator we can convert to a single term. This we can do the method which we use for rationalization, multiplying by the same but with a positive sign. Okay, multiplying numerator and denominator by 1 plus sine theta. So this is upon 1 minus sine theta, 1 plus sine theta, a minus b, a plus b, a square minus b square. So this is 1 minus sine square theta. So 1 minus sine square theta is nothing but cos square theta, correct? Okay. Now we can write this as tan theta we can take inside. So this will be tan theta into 1 plus tan theta into sine theta. Okay. Now we can separate the denominator, tan theta upon cos square theta plus tan theta into sine theta upon cos square theta d theta. Okay, so this tan theta upon cos square theta we can write tan theta into 1 upon cos square theta. 1 upon cos square theta is sec square theta. What about this? Tan theta is sine upon cos. So sine into sine becomes sine square theta, and sine upon cos, so this becomes sine cos cube theta. Okay, or we can write this as sine theta upon cos theta, sine theta upon cos theta into 1 upon cos theta, that is 2 sine square cos square into cos theta. So this is tan square theta into sec theta d theta. Okay, this is easy. If you take derivative of tan theta is sec square theta, so you have to take t as tan theta, so dt is sec square theta d theta. Okay, so I'll write this as 1, so 1. So derivative of tan theta is t. T dt is t square by 2 plus c. T square tan square theta by 2 plus c. Okay, this is our first integral and this is second. Sec square theta plus into sec theta. Okay, for second one also you have to substitute, that is tan square theta into sec theta, right? Here you can split this, that is you can write this as tan theta into tan theta. Okay, so you know that tan theta is, or we can write this as tan square theta is 1 plus tan square theta is sec square theta. So sec square theta minus 1 into sec of theta. T minus, what if I take t as sec theta? Its derivative is sec theta into tan theta. wait, if I take t as sec theta, then dt will be sec theta into tan theta d theta. Okay, so we want this is our d theta. This I want in terms of sec. So tan square theta is sec square theta minus 1. This is from the trigonometric identity. So tan theta is root of sec square theta minus 1. So I can write this tan theta as root of sec square theta minus 1 into tan theta into sec theta d theta. Okay. So this I am substituting as t. So this becomes t square minus 1 dt. Here we have to use that formula, root of x square minus a square. That formula is t by 2 root of t square minus 1 minus half log t plus root of t square minus 1 plus c. Okay, our t was sec theta, so everywhere t is there, that how to write sec theta. Sec square theta minus 1 half log sec theta plus sec square theta minus 1 plus c. So sec square theta minus 1 you can write tan square theta, so this becomes tan theta. Again here also. Okay, so this was our first integral, this is second, so tan square theta plus 2. After that you have to write this term and plus c.